What's up, my friend? Welcome back to another video. So today I just wanted to share with you 3 dark but very real truths about running an online business that you might not have thought about too much before, or that people usually don't really share online as much. And the reason is because, usually when people are trying to sell you a program, they just want to share the positives, right? This is what you'll get. This is what you can expect. But it's equally important to share the downsides of a certain thing, whether that's business or a product or whatever it is, so that people get a full scope of what you're actually getting into. So if you're just starting with an online business, or you're just starting building something from scratch, then maybe these 3 truths will resonate, and I hope so. And hopefully you can let me know down below if one of these does resonate with you. So the first dark truth about online business is that it usually is a very lonely process. Because as entrepreneurs, right, you might have heard the term solopreneurs, people who basically are building a business by themselves from scratch. We naturally want control over the whole process, right? Like if we're trying to build something that we can monetize in the future, we're trying to help people, it's like usually it boils from our own vision at the very beginning, something that we have an idea about, we want to pursue it, and then it eventually grows and grows. But as long as we have control over that business, then everything kind of falls on our shoulders, and it ends up feeling very, very lonely, and there's no one that can really understand what we're going through, right? Even if you're achieving some level of success, maybe you're making 5 figures a year, eventually 6 figures a year, or 7 figures a year, entrepreneurs will still feel that same sense of loneliness, that they're building something almost in a vacuum that they can't really relate to other people about, because not everyone is an entrepreneur. In fact, most people work steady 9-to-5 jobs, right? So there's this inevitable sense of loneliness that does come from building something on your own. And I think that's just part of the journey. So there are definitely communities out there and forums that you can join for entrepreneurs. But just so you know that if you are feeling lonely to some degree when building this thing, it's very, very normal. So yeah, don't worry too much about that. The second dark truth about online business is that it does take time. Now, of course, like with anything, there are shortcuts, but some shortcuts are better than others. And I've talked about paid ads before on the channel, how I personally don't recommend them for myself and for other people. And the business model that I strongly believe in and have been using for a decade now is content marketing, putting out free content out there into the world for free, and then monetizing it on the back end through my programs, coaching, courses, memberships, communities, whatever it might be. That's the model I've been using. And while building trust and building just that likability with my audience is very effective, the main downside to content marketing is that it does take time. It does take years in order to build a loyal audience. Now, the main shortcut people go to is buying ads, right? Using Meta or YouTube ads to basically put themselves out there and make the whole process a lot faster. But personally, I've always preferred the organic marketing approach. And part of that is just accepting that it will take more time than going with paid advertising. So if you can keep that in mind, knowing that this is a long game that we're playing, something that we're building that has legs in the future, that's so important, and that can be so effective for your business moving forward. So just keep that in mind as well. It does take time. Now, sort of related to these first 2 is number 3, and that is that the passive income thing is sort of a myth. Like if you're building your online business properly, yes, a large part of your income can be automated, but rarely is it entirely passive. And especially if you're doing content marketing, the content is what takes up most of your time, right? So putting out a piece of content each week, that does take a bit of your own personal time. Now, maybe that's only 2 to 3 hours a week, which is awesome, right? And even less probably if you get really accustomed to doing it over and over. And now there's actually AI tools that can help you create your own content. But that aside, creating our own business does take some time. And what ends up happening is that if we don't have this secret ingredient, then our business falls apart. And that ingredient is discipline. So just like with anything else, like fitness is the analogy I like to use the most often. But just like with fitness, business is the same thing, where you need to show up week in and out to make sure you're taking the right action steps in order to move the needle and move the business forward. So for me, being disciplined to show up each and every week to put out a piece of content to add value to the world, that is the main work that I do to move my business forward, right? And in order to do this for years, decades, you have to be disciplined. There are going to be days where you just simply don't feel like doing it. And again, every entrepreneur or every person has this feeling from time to time. Like, this might be something you love to do, but there are moments where we simply don't want to do it, right? We're human. That's just how we operate. So just know that even in those difficult times, as long as you continue to show up week after week, you are doing what is the most important thing to move your business forward and move the needle, right? So discipline is absolutely critical. So along with discipline, making sure you understand that it does take time. It's not a fast process unless you buy paid ads, which is a whole can of worms in itself. And the fact that it is a lonely journey, unless you join communities and forums and stuff like that. You can definitely do that. But just by default, the online business journey can be more of a lonely one. Those are sort of the three dark truths that you have to accept and think about when building your online business. But once we sort of do internalize these things, I actually think it's a very freeing thing, because we know that, it's not just us that feels these things. The rest of the entrepreneur community can identify with these things as well. And so hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight and encouragement into the journey, what it's actually like. These are things that I felt myself as well. So I just wanted to share them with you in today's video. But let's say you wanted to go more into the tactical side and understand how the whole process actually works. Like from the inception of a business idea, how do we actually take that, create a business from it from scratch? How do we monetize our offerings, our audience? And where do we go from there, right? How does the whole online business system work from start to finish? And it's actually a lot simpler than you might think. And it's something I cover in my program called From Passion to Profit. Now, this is a system that I usually sell on my website for $297, but I actually wanted to give it to you as a gift today for free. And the best way to get that is to join my Kajabi Trial down below in the description. So if you haven't heard of Kajabi, essentially it's an all-in-one online business platform that lets you host your courses, your coaching, your community, your website, payment collection and hosting, email marketing, analytics, all that stuff. Everything is hosted in the one platform. So it's very streamlined, it's very simple to use, and it's one that I've been using for the better part of a decade now, Kajabi. So if you haven't yet built your business on a platform, you're curious about the platform that I use to run a 6-figure business per year, then I'd encourage you to check it out. And they usually give you a 14-day free trial on their website. But if you use my link down below, christophercu.com/profit, then you'll see the details to my From Passion to Profit course. And when you click the join button, you'll be taken to that 30-day free trial page where you can sign up. And when you do sign up for your free Kajabi trial, I'll send you my Kajabi in 30 days mini course, which will walk you through step-by-step how to build your business on the Kajabi platform. So you'll have me by your side every single step of the way to build that thing from start to finish. And then as soon as you become a paying member of Kajabi, you can forward me your first month's receipt or your annual receipt, and I'll grant you manual access to that program. Again, absolutely free as a thank you for using my link. So if you have any questions, do let me know below. I really appreciate you watching. I'll catch you in the next one, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.